Alrighty guys, tonight I'm going to be showing you how to replace the gear shifter shaft in a Kawasaki Bayou 220. Like if you break the end off like this. See, I tried to weld one on there and it didn't work. So, hang on. Alright, I pulled the side cover off this bike and got this one out. So basically all you gotta do to get it out is you gotta take off your foot peg and then the brake right here, that foot brake. Then it's a little tricky because you see this thing down here. This actually sets under it, and this is for the people who are just trying to figure out how to do this. Because I'm going to show here in a minute how to do it. Because I got another folder to take it out of to get this out. Whatever, you slide this back right here, like this. It's got a spring. You take your finger and slide it back, and it'll pull right up out of there. As long as there's no burrs or nothing on the other end. And you got to take the gear shifter off the other side of the motor first. And then you can just push this in and pull it right out. And there's also a spring that's on top of here that you have to put back on when you put it back together. Which, I want to, yeah, the spring's right there. It's going to be over this. You can just pull it off. And then this will be under that ring. Push it in. And don't do that. But, alright. I'm going to show you how to take the other one apart to get it out. And then reassemble it here. Alright guys, right here I got my donor folder. I went ahead and pulled my gear shifter off the other side. It wasn't too bad. Now you gotta take out these 3 bolts, this pin that's supposed to be in here, the little pin that's in this back here, and unhook this spring. You take out these 2. And then after you do that, alrighty guys, I went ahead and pulled this skid pan off. It's got 2 10mm right here and 2 12mm right here. These 2 12mm and them 2, pull that off, whatever's connected to it. And then you have all these 8mm bolts or 5/16, whatever you got, all around the outside. You can see them down in there. And down in here, you got to pull your oil filter or cover off, pull your oil filter out. There's one 8mm bolt in there. So if you take all the other ones out and the cover won't come off, there's one under here, under the oil filter. So don't forget about it, because you'll break it. But yeah, you pull it out, and then I'll get back to it. Yeah, I went in and got the cover off. You pick all this up, it'll come off this first, like this. And then the thing with the spring, with the balls, then there'll be this part and the spring. Then all that's left to get this out. Alright, so you can see it moves, but this one won't pick up out of here because it's hitting the back of the clutch. And it's stuck on the down little, like the, let's see if I can get a better view here. It's underneath that gear on the clutch. Won't come out. Now the other one over here, I just pushed it in and twisted, and there was enough room to get it over that pin. But the pin, I noticed, has a, looks to me like a 12mm nut on it. I'm just going to unscrew the 12mm nut and then take this one out. That's crazy, I didn't have to take it out on the other one. I wonder what's different on this one, because this is a 250, the other one's a 220. But yeah, it don't want to come out of here. But yeah, because I just pushed it in like this on the other one and was able to get enough to lift it up over there. There might be a spacer missing in behind this since it's too far down. But alright guys, I just went ahead and unscrewed the little pin out of there through the hole in this, the little square hole, and it twisted and pulled right out. You can see this one's got the good end. And but also, if you got this thing on its side like me, all the oil is going to drain out in the floor, so make sure you got a pan under there if you ain't already drained it. I always turn them on the side, that way all that stuff that's in the cover will fall off a lot of times when it's upright. And plus it's easier on me because I can stand over it and not be trying to get down on the floor But alright, now we're going to go over here to this one. And basically, I'm going to try to rock some of this off. I got a little dirty. But, alright, you got a shim on the back here. You don't want it to fall off. Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to take this and get my camera here. My light went off. Yeah, I hate doing YouTube videos with the camera and the oil, because I get oil all over everything. But yeah, you drop this in there like that, and it's going to slide down in the hole. And so you turn it this way a little bit. When you get down here, you see that there's that washer. You go under, take your finger, mash that back, and if I'm lucky, I get through the back over there. There's that seal on the other side. But yeah, you take your finger. Yeah. Well, let's see what the hold up is. I might be stuck on the other side. I was hoping I could just push her back. And there we go. Just slip it down in there, but I'm gonna give it a tap with a hammer. If I can find the hammer. Alright, hold up a second. Alright guys, I found out what was holding me up. Alright, you know that little spacer that goes on the back? It's got the ledge on it like this right here. That ledge, when you slide it back on here, inside the back here, I don't know if you can see, you slide it back. You see that hole? That actually sits on that ledge in the spacer like that. It should go flush against the back of it. If it ain't in there, it won't go all the way down. I just figured that out. But yeah, then you can slip it in all the way. You ain't gotta hit it with a hammer. Alrighty, I got it in there. As you can see, okay, you know how it's got them two teeth? It's just supposed to be on each side of that gear. So when you push down a gear shifter, it'll click it one way or click it the other. And the clicking sound you actually hear is this detent right here. This little arm with the roller. It clicks over these gears, and that's what over these teeth, and that's what holds it in gear, and it makes your clicking sound when you're shifting gears. And a lot of times, if your four-wheeler's real hard to shift, it's either your clutch needs adjusted on that adjuster on the outside of the cover, or it's idled too high. If it's these, I noticed this one was idled too high, and it wouldn't shift down, and that's how the gear shifter got broke, because they kept stomping it. But yeah, you get that on there, okay. Then you're going to take, next step is going to be the spring. I'll walk over and get the new one, which mine, the spring is on the back of this. So I'm going to take the spring, you set it down on here. I can get the camera over here. It's hard to do this one-handed, whatever. Spring goes on there. Alright, you see that little square? Each side of this, it doesn't go crossed. So it wasn't crossed when I pulled it out. So this is supposed to pry open. And here, I'm going to take this off to do it. I'm going to take the spring back off. Set the camera down for a second. So I can show y'all how to do it here. What I'm going to do is, so you can see it here. I'm going to take the screwdriver and put it between here. Wipe it off, a little dirty. But put it in here like this. And then twist my screwdriver like that. And it'll hold it open. I'll go put it in there. Alright guys, I got the spring in there. I don't know if you can see it. But the fingers on the spring go on the lower side, where they're on each side of the little post sticking up and the little square over here. Get the light turned back on so you can see. Yeah, can't see it real good. But yeah, there we go. And they go on the blower. See how it's a little twisted? When you put that other piece, I'm going to grab it back in here. It's going to go, make sure this is the right piece. There are a couple of them. Yeah. Okay, this piece is going to go with a little slot over that little slot sticking up. Let's see if I can get the camera around here. Like that. Let's see, it's getting hung on the spring down here. You can see in this crack. Pull, use your fingers. Get her just right. Let's see if I can focus her in here. And focus, but whatever. You line that little slot up. Make sure it goes all the way down like that. See, it's all the way down. Spring went around the back side. It's over that slot. Alright, now we're going to put on the next piece. And this is why I turn the four-wheeler outside. Or you take the next piece right here. And it's got that slot. And the ball on the back side. See how it's got the slots down there? Well, I'm going to drop this over it. And all the dogs decide to bark. I'm in the middle doing something. And line it up with a little post. Like that. The balls are in the slots. That's why you turn it outside, because that'll fall off in the cover. Hush! Yeah, the balls will be lined up with them. Dang dogs. So you line that up. Put that on your post. And then, alright, when you put the cover on, this will be a little tricky. Because this little spring is going to fall out like that. You see, line it up. You don't want it all fell out the bottom of the motor. Get all chewed up. These are the parts I just changed. So, we'll throw them in the donor folder. And now what you want to do is silicone or change your gasket. And put the cover back on. Put all your bolts back in. Foot peg. And then put your gear shifter on and fill her back up with oil. And new oil filter if you're doing an oil change. Alrighty.